What was just released about Gene Simmons is breaking headlines across the world, and for fans of rock music, it feels like a moment that changes everything they thought they knew about the Kiss frontman. Gene Simmons has always lived larger than life. He was never just a musician. He was an empire builder, a businessman, and an unstoppable force who turned a rock band into one of the biggest entertainment brands on earth. With his painted face, fire-breathing theatrics, and booming stage presence, Simmons embodied the ultimate rock star image, but the latest revelations about him show a side that few ever imagined. Behind the layers of makeup and the thunderous sound of stadium anthems, Simmons has carried secrets, struggles, and decisions that now have come into the light in a way that no one expected. Fans have been left stunned, not because Simmons is unfamiliar with controversy — he has always thrived on shocking the world — but because this news is deeply personal and profoundly emotional. It is the kind of headline that doesn't just make you gasp. It makes you stop and realize that even legends are human. For decades, Simmons has carefully controlled his image, presenting himself as the untouchable businessman of rock and the master of reinvention. But this latest revelation uncovers the cracks in that image. Sources close to him describe a man who has faced growing pressures, both physically and emotionally, after years of living at the absolute peak of fame. It's easy to forget that Simmons, now in his 70s, has been performing for over 50 years, pouring his energy into every performance as if it were his last. What was just released confirms what many insiders had whispered about for years, that Simmons has been quietly battling challenges that could no longer be ignored. Whether it is the toll of relentless touring, the strain of maintaining an empire, or the weight of personal struggles that he never let the public see, the truth is that the man who seemed unstoppable has finally shown his vulnerability. The headlines reveal more than just career updates or band news. They paint a portrait of a man standing at a crossroads, forced to confront the reality that the lifestyle that made him a legend may also be the very thing breaking him down. Simmons himself has always insisted on strength, on power, on dominance. But in this revelation, we see something else: humanity. Fans around the world are reacting with a mixture of shock and compassion. To hear that Simmons, this giant of rock, this man who once seemed invincible, has struggles that make him pause, reflect, and even change direction is nothing short of groundbreaking. For some, it is heartbreaking because it signals the possible end of an era. For others, it is inspiring because it proves that even the strongest among us can admit when they've been pushed too far. What makes this news even more dramatic is how sudden it feels. For years, Simmons has been the embodiment of consistency. Through lineup changes, industry shifts, and even the so-called death of rock and roll, he stood firm, always projecting control. That is why the words "what was just released" hit with such force. They tell us that something monumental has shifted, something so important that it could not be hidden any longer. Whether this revelation signals the closing of a chapter or the beginning of a new one, it marks a turning point not only in Simmons' life, but also in the story of Kiss itself. Fans are left wondering, what comes next? Will Simmons retreat from the spotlight? Or will he reinvent himself once again, proving that he can rise from even the most devastating blow? The breaking headlines about Gene Simmons serve as a reminder of just how fragile even the biggest legends can be. His career has been about spectacle, power, and control. But now, in this moment, it is about honesty, fragility, and truth. The world will keep talking about this news for a long time, because it is not just about a rock star. It is about the man behind the makeup, the human being behind the legend, and the shocking revelation that no one saw coming.